The September post-recess MTA Finance Committee meeting. Welcome to those remaining in the room. I see some people chomping at the bit to comment. This committee meeting. Welcome to those remaining in the room. I see some people chomping at the bit to comment. Promise you a light agenda, and the main event being tomorrow, where we'll talk about fare increases and other fun things to vote on. Today will be much more sedate, and I look forward to a speedy meeting. Jake, what? Is there a second? No, silly kids. All right, Jake, humor us, and how many speakers do we have?
We have 5 registered speakers today. We ask that all public speakers adhere to the MTA's rules of conduct and decorum. In the interest of time and fairness to all speakers, we limit everyone to 2 minutes. There will be a warning beep to remind you there are 30 seconds remaining to conclude your remarks. Our first speaker is Jason Anthony, followed by Christopher Greif, excuse me.
On. Good afternoon, Neil. Welcome back from joining your summer. I enjoyed mine because I worked a lot. Let's go to the agenda, shall we? Let's talk about the fare hikes. Although that I don't agree with the fare hikes, but we have to live with them, sadly. First things first, I don't agree with the $35 12 trip cap, because if we divide it by 2 for those with the reduced fare, it will be $17.50 instead of the original $18. Second, we should incentivize, like I indicated earlier during the transit committee, we should incentivize those commuters to register their Omni cards in the website. Because I have done multiple videos, like a roll of toilet paper, asking riders why not they don't register their Omni cards on the website like I have mine. The question is simple. Do riders register the Omni cards on the website? The answer that I get from them is a simple no. So why the MTA hasn't incentivized since the beginning to let riders and register the Omni cards? Why not? Because CTA has done the same, LA Metro has done the same, SEPTA has done the same, but why not us? So let's think about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Our next speaker is Christopher Greif, followed by Charlton D'Souza.
Good afternoon. I'm Christopher D. Greif. As a person with a disability and do see a lot of us travel on the railroads, I just hope when we do approve this tomorrow, we need more clarification information to go out. Because, for example, we have people who are disability who do like to go sometimes to the islands to do some events or some fun times. Sometimes they like to do the 10-day pass, which we have today, that people like to travel on Fridays on the 10-day thing because they can budget it for that month. And yes, it is $65 if you divide by times 10, sorry. It does help them to balance what they have to do, because some of them do bowl. Some of them do Friday night events at the islands of Nassau or Suffolk County. But right now, Nassau County is the closest right into the city. And timing the trains for them is very easy for them. Also, since we do have the brochures, tells you how much is the reduced fare. But as I said this earlier, and I did say this at the MTA, we need to work on the outreaching a little more to let people know how to deal with the new deals that is out there. For example, some of us who we know the 30 days is going to be discontinuing. We need to make clear that there is a way of concerning like putting your regular number price in, like 66, and you don't realize you're saving. But there is ways of doing it. And I'm just saying is, yes, we're only going up a dime and a nickel, which will survive, but we should increasing more outreach and more how to encourage them, as my other person said before. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Charlton D'Souza, followed by Maddie Buckus Highland.
Thank you. My name is Charlton D'Souza. I'm the president of Passengers United. So, a couple of things. We support no fare increases, obviously, because a lot of people right now are suffering. So, basically, 30-day unlimited Omni should be there. People should have that option. People should also have the option to pay their fare with coins on the buses. The fact that you're eliminating coin payment is very alarming and will hurt our seniors who don't have any other method to pay. And asking them to pay Omni for $5 is too much. Also, the Uni ticket for the Long Island Railroad, which you guys haven't even talked about Uni ticket, but it's still in your proposal. Why don't you turn that into a city ticket? You don't need the city ticket subway portion for now. Why don't you just create a city ticket on the railroad portion and charge people $40 for that or $35? That could work. We need the promotional transfers kept in January for the Queens bus redesign, and also fare inspectors. They should not be taking people's bank cards and tapping it. They should just put the device close to the card. I have serious concerns about this and privacy issues. What if the device is compromised? Y'all need to look into that. And another thing is the combo ticket. Nowhere is it mentioned in any of the fare increase materials whether that ticket is remaining. So y'all need to keep the combo ticket and the 1 day unlimited for the railroads. We do not support that. We actually support a 3 day unlimited, and there should be a 7 day unlimited. Give the people what they want. We're not getting this. And all the elected officials have been spoken to, including the governor. I don't know why she's not agreeing to have a city ticket weekly. This is ridiculous. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Maddie Buckus Highland, followed by Andy Pollock.
Thank you, sir, and good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maddie Buckus Highland, and I'm also an advocate for people with developmental disabilities like Mr. Greif. First of all, I do want to thank the MTA as it is necessary to increase the fares and the tolls, even if it goes by a nickel or a dime. It's necessary to keep a healthy system running and operational. For example, like in Washington, D.C., it would not be possible without funding to expand the Silver Line on the D.C. Metro from East Falls Church to Reston East, which opened in 2014 under Virginia Governor Terrence R. McAuliffe, and then it expanded from Reston East to Ashburn, Virginia, which is in Loudoun County with a population about 400,000 under then Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. Folks, nobody likes to pay more, but it's necessary to keep up with a system. If we don't do a small and predictable increase, we're going to have to do one that's larger, and that could be quite unpredictable. So I hope it'll be the will of the board to adopt the fare and toll increases tomorrow. I will be speaking on that if I have time. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Andy Pollock.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Andy Pollock from Passengers United. So I am here to discuss the proposed fare increase. And just like my other colleagues at Passengers United have openly discussed, we do not support the proposed fare hike from $2.90 to $3, which would begin on January 1st. And the main reason why it should not be going up is the fact that subway reliability has not been performing the way it should be. Just this morning, for an example, the A, B, C, D, 1, 2, and 3 trains were all delayed due to some sort of incident. And just for that, subway fares should not be going up from $2.90 to $3. Let's make that very clear, especially how it's been like that for a majority of the summer with constant subway problems. And to wrap up my remarks, I just want to also state for the record that we should not be eliminating the 7-day and the 30-day unlimited ride option. It's not fair for people who budget weekly for unlimited rides that you're taking away that option, which would begin on January 1st. What is the point of a 7-day omni cap? Who's really going to be capping a ride if they take multiple rides for $35? I mean, does that make any sense? So that's where I'm going to conclude my remarks, and thank you for letting me speak.
This call is no longer being recorded.
This concludes the public comments portion of the agenda.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to make one remark in response to a couple of comments, particularly the terms being used, ridiculous. Just want to state two numbers for people. We're increasing by 10 cents. That's 3.4% increase. We haven't done an increase since August of 2023. Inflation has gone up 5.6% cumulatively over the period of time. Nationally, I can't even imagine what it is in New York City. It's probably significantly higher. So this is not a hike. I think this is an increase. It's a modest increase, and it is in some ways overdue. So my colleagues could agree, disagree, but just giving a couple numbers to the facts. Okay, Jake, thank you very much for that. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, anyway, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our August last meeting, please? Thank you, Hada. Thank you, second from Mark. Any comments, deletions, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Jake, monthly financial performance report, please.
Preliminary operating results through August year-to-date were $285 million favorable compared with the adopted budget. The majority of that favorability was driven by revenues, which were favorable by $181 million. Expenses also contributed an additional $104 million of favorability year-to-date. Going further into operating revenues, farebox revenue was favorable by $9 million year-to-date and $3 million favorable for August alone. This was driven by favorable paid ridership, which was at 73% of pre-COVID levels in August. Favorable paid ridership for buses and subways for August year-to-date was slightly offset by unfavorable paid ridership for commuter rails compared to the mid-year forecast. Toll revenue was slightly favorable at $1.3 million for August alone and $5.6 million favorable year-to-date. Subsidies were favorable by $158 million. This was primarily due to favorable results for the payroll mobility tax, which was favorable by $100 million for August year-to-date. In addition to operating revenue, capital subsidies were favorable by $39 million year-to-date, driven by $27 million of favorability for the real property transfer tax. On the expense side, debt service expenses were favorable by $51 million year-to-date. Operating expenses were favorable by $52 million year-to-date. This was a product of non-labor and other expenses being favorable by $62 million, while labor expenses were unfavorable by $10 million. Labor unfavorability is driven by overtime, which is only partially offset by vacancy savings. While operating expenses are favorable year-to-date, they were unfavorable in August by $30 million. In addition to high levels of overtime, timing issues contributed to this, such as the payment of essential worker bonuses as a result of labor agreements.
Okay. Questions for Jake? Okay, I always feel necessary to give you something, so thank you. It was good to see the bus paid ridership after our bump up in August, that we've been maintaining that, so that's good to see at 64%, so well done. And Jake, great first outing. That was Jake's first running through the financial performance report in this tenure. I wish you continued more favorable news each month for us. We do not accept unfavorable news at this board meeting. Okay, Olga, the debt report. Take us through, please.
And I'm happy to continue with favorable news. First, I'm pleased to report that we received another rating upgrade to MTA transportation revenue bonds in August after the release of July financial plan. S&P upgraded transportation revenue bonds ratings from A- to A with a stable outlook. This upgrade reflects S&P's growing confidence in our credit. Notably, S&P also cited the preliminary success of the congestion relief zone program as a contributing factor in their decision. As you recall, this is the second upgrade for transportation revenue bonds we received this summer. Earlier in June, Moody's upgraded this credit to A2 level, which is comparable to the new S&P rating. As we've discussed previously, MTA transportation revenue bonds supported by a very diverse pledge of revenues, and markets sometimes functionally views the rating on transportation revenue bonds as a geo of MTA. So when rating agencies upgrade this credit, it's a broad recognition of MTA's improved financial position. Turning to the recent financial activity, if there was a theme to the municipal markets this year, it was high issuance volume. Through August, issuance was up about 19% year over year. Last year, issuance was already a record volume year. So to avoid competing with other large issuances in the bond market and also to capitalize on this positive momentum of two recent rating upgrades, we went to the market with the latest transportation revenue bond deal in mid-September. And that strategy really worked in our favor because we were also benefiting from improved overall market tone due to the anticipation of the Fed rate in action. Borrowing costs declined in anticipation of the interest rate cut in September, which happened, and that significantly enhanced our savings. So we successfully priced $1.4 billion of transportation revenue refunding green bonds, Series 2025B. This transaction generated $90.8 million in net present value savings, and that's about 6.5% of the refunded par. The strong result reflects continued investor demand for our bonds and our ongoing commitment to pursue market opportunities. I also want to mention a transaction we closed in August. That was $728 million of TBTA general revenue bonds, Series 2025A. That transaction included two components, a $500 million new money component, and also refunding that achieved nearly $20 million in net present value savings. Looking ahead, we're preparing for an October refinancing for TBTA second subordinate bond anticipation notes, which are maturing this fall, and that sale will be conducted through a competitive bid process. This concludes my overview for today, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Olga? Well, congrats on the upgrade from S&P. It's great to see. I think it says a lot about this organization and what the rating agencies are looking for, which is clarity of revenue. CFO, anything to say?
Thank you. I'd like to underscore that, right? We got 2 rating upgrades this summer after our July financial plan release. That's a show of confidence from the market in the MTA and this board, looking at revenue, ridership, and our operating efficiencies. It's our job as the board and the MTA to continue to push increased revenues and efficiencies amongst the agency, and we're doing that. We have lowered the deficits in the out years for 27 and 28 as we presented in July, and that was translated into our upgrades. So thank you, Olga and team, but the board as well in pushing our the MTA in the financial plan.
Do those credit upgrades save us on interest rates in borrowing? And is that substantive?
So maybe I can take that. So the credit that was upgraded was transportation revenue bonds, right? And so again, to kind of benefit from this positive upgrade momentum, we just recently, earlier this month, went into the market with a $1.4 billion deal. So it's hard to sort of translate upgrades into specific basis points saved, right? But what we can say is that we've seen a tremendous participation in the transaction. Over 70 accounts had orders for the deal. And, you know, when we talked to the book runner manager, they definitely thought that there was a benefit that we saw in this transaction from the upgrade. It really diversified the base of investors who participated in the deal.
While not one for one, I think Olga mentioned that there was a $20 million savings in this refunding, that the latest one that we did, so. A lot more interest, obviously. Yes.
All right, Jade, take us through congestion pricing.
Sure. So I'm sure this board has been in touch with congestion revenue and relief zone stats. The governor reported, results through July for us, but on that note, I would like to say continued traffic declines, 12 to 14% in congestion relief zone. And what does that translate into? It translates into $449 million of revenue collected through the congestion relief zone through August, against expenses of $85 million for net revenue on congestion relief zone of $365 million. Continue to be on track for the $500 million that we projected this year. And so, it's doing all the things that we expected.
Great, thank you. Good. Okay, Lizette, we've got a couple all-agency and headquarters procurements, please.
Good afternoon. There are 3 MTA headquarter items this month for the Finance Committee approval, and the estimated amount of $8.03 billion. These actions are found in the September Finance Committee book. The first item includes 2 actions: an award of 2 competitively negotiated personal services contracts to Aetna Life Insurance Company for the New York City Transit Medical Benefits Program. So the benefits cover approximately 150,000 active employees, retirees, and their dependents. So a very broad base of coverage. The first contract includes the Preferred Provider Organization, the PPO, and the Exclusive Provider Organization, the EPO plan, and it covers a period of 3 years beginning January 1, 2026. With an option to extend for 2 additional years through 2030 for a not-to-exceed amount of $7.95 billion, and that pricing includes the options. Now, the bulk of the costs of the contract, the 98.5% of the costs, are pass-through that go to pay the medical providers and hospitals directly. The board has also requested to authorize the MTA Assistant Deputy Chief Procurement Officer to approve the exercise of the options. The second contract, the Medicare Advantage contract, plans has a 2-year base term beginning January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2027, with 3 one-year options for a total not to exceed amount of $59.55 million. The pricing negotiated covers the base term only, due to the uncertainty regarding the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services subsidies for the Medicare Advantage plans. Pricing for those options will be based on a formula applicable for each of the option year, and we will be coming back to the board to seek approval for those options. Participant benefits, just a reminder, are provided in accordance with a series of collective bargaining agreements. So that's a little bit of a background of what the benefits actually provide. The second item is an award of a 3-year competitively negotiated personal services contract to IBM Corporation to provide day-to-day maintenance and technical support services for MTA's existing timekeeping and attendance software, UKG Workforce Central System, and for the new upgraded Kronos Pro Workforce Management System when it goes live at the end of this year. The performance period is 3 years with 2 one-year options, valued at $7.9 million. And the board is requested to authorize the MTA Deputy Chief Procurement Officer to approve the options pending availability of funding. The MTA is upgrading the current UKG Workforce Central software, as it will no longer be licensed or supported as of December 31st of this year. And effective January 1st of 2026, UKG will only support and maintain the new upgraded version, the Pro Workforce Management, which is designed to streamline the timekeeping process, improve efficiency in payroll, and enhance overall workforce productivity. This update affects every MTA employee, both represented and non-represented, and phase one of this project is scheduled to go live this year. And given the broad impact of this project, additional resources, technical resources, are needed to assist with providing day-to-day operational support through the transition to the new system, provide troubleshooting, technical assistance for system users, and training on the functionalities. And the adoption of the new changes to the system. So that's the IBM item. And the third and final item requested by MTA Construction and Development, C&D, on behalf of Transit, is a request for board approval to modify a contract awarded to Cubic Transportation Systems for the procurement of Omni cards, including, which are called media. That's how we refer to it in the contract, including the extended use, so that's the Omni card, and limited use cards such as the one-time use, the student passes, for other programs. The procurement is required to support the growth in the use of MTA's tap and ride systems and fulfills the inventory needs for 2026 for programs like the replenishment of the Omni vending machines, the customer service point of sale device replenishment, paratransit and full fare operations, student passes, and within the Department of Education. The estimated amount of this contract is $17.99 million and is based on pricing that is pre-established in the contract. Inventory needs for the subsequent years will be determined after, during the 2026 when we transition off of the MetroCard and see usage and need. And we'll be back for other additional inventory needs.
Okay, so we got an Aetna contract, an IBM contract, and a Cubic Media, meaning the physical product contract. Questions? Hada.
So the Aetna, I understand, it's to give the employees and the retirees better healthcare insurance, right?
It's healthcare insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the continued healthcare
Continued,
insurance.
yes.
Okay. The second one, which is Kronos, you said it's $7.9 million, but you said it's based on the availability of funding. We have to fix Kronos, right?
Yes, no,
Okay.
that is, I think it was for the option years perhaps.
Oh, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Hold on one second.
You said 3 years of IBM, Kronos 7.9.
Yeah.
It says availability of funding. I'm like, but we have to fix Kronos.
That project is funded. This contract is to provide support for the users as they're learning how to use the new functionality and to provide almost a staff augmentation to make sure that the cutover to the new product goes smoothly. This spans across all agencies, and it's going to require a lot of support in order to get done well.
So I'm confused. We're not using Kronos?
We are using Kronos. This is an old, we're currently
A
using an
new
old
system of
version.
Kronos, and this is to
Hold
teach
on.
everyone.
I believe we're paying, this contract is for IBM
Right.
to provide support for the implementation of
The new-
Kronos.
Of the new Kronos program.
Yes, but I'm saying this is I don't believe IBM owns Kronos. This is IBM as a tech consulting firm to help us implement Kronos.
Correct, to provide ongoing technical support for the day-to-day operations as we roll over into the new system.
Okay. And then the third one, Cubic, which is, one of my favorites. Explain to me why are we still dealing with Cubic? Well, that's a loaded question, but tell me what we're doing here.
For this contract, it's to purchase the inventory for new cards, the actual cards that the Omni card that people will need to purchase in order to ride the system if they're not going to utilize the tap and go functionality of their credit card or phone.
So the cards that we're selling all over the place?
Yes, this is for the inventory necessary for 2026.
Because we assume that X amount of people are going, since we're going live with Omni,
Correct.
January 1. How many cards do we?
It's in the staff summary. They are, 1 second.
I didn't see it, sorry.
Give me 1 second. Here we go.
DOE, is for B2B orders.
All right, so it's 7.4 million extended use media, so that's the Omni card. 10.5 million limited use fan fold media, which I believe are the one-time, one-use passes. And the limited use die cut media is about 6.5 million. And those will fund things like the school, the Department of Education, student use, et cetera, some of the specialized programs.
And we have to buy the Omni cards from Cubic. We have no other vendor we can buy them from.
They're negotiated in the contract.
Okay.
This is called the classic razor blade dilemma.
Yeah.
All right, you want to edify something?
I was going to say this is a quantity contract. I think there's an overestimate of card usage here as we transition from MetroCard to the Omni cards. We purchase based on use and ordering, and so I think this is a little bit high in my opinion as we transition. So we'll modify the need as we go forward and the analysis.
So with that, do we get a reimbursement if we don't use all these cards?
We only pay for what we use or need.
So these cards are gonna be purchased and put in CVS's and Dwayne Reed's and everywhere else, wherever you can find an Omni card.
And those machines that they
And the
took in
machines,
service.
yes. And if we don't, we only pay for what we
purchase.
use, right, okay. Thank you.
David.
We think it's
Yeah,
gonna be
one
17
of the
point.
people testified for a $5 fee to make this purchase. Is that accurate?
To purchase it.
To purchase a card, I believe it's the same as it is now. It will be, it is the same now as to buy, the fee to buy a card will remain the same as it is for the Metro card with the Omni card.
You have to purchase an Omni card.
So
Okay.
currently, David, if I can add, there is a $1 fee when you buy them from the vending machine. And that is the current price of a Metro card. We know these cards are a little bit more expensive to, develop and purchase. And so as we no longer have Metro cards in the system, the fee will increase. The proposal is to increase the fee to $2 with the fare increase proposal.
Good? No? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Does this really compute with the actual costs? So,
It is, it's actually per cost is being translated to the customer. One thing I would highlight is the Metro card is only good for 2 years. It's a very paper-based. The actual Omni card is useful life is like 5 years. And so you're only purchasing a $2 card for 5 years. So think about it as an investment rather than the throwaway Metro cards maybe a little bit that you currently have that you purchase.
Mark next and then Mel.
You wanted this topic? Because I'm going back.
Yeah, I'm on this topic. I just need a point of clarification. So my mom had a reduced senior fare card, Metro card. She's passed, but they mailed her an Omni for I didn't pay the $2.
So that was a.
I gave it back actually. I did the right thing. I
Thank
returned
you
it.
for returning a card that was
returned it.
mailed. But for our reduced fare customers, since we were transitioning from the first time, we mail those customers cards without a fee, I'll say, right, as a convenience for switching over from the Metro card to Omni. We're also, making sure our customers get the best benefit. If you don't own an Omni card today, please purchase it. It is $1. It's the same price as a Metro card. No longer need to buy the Metro card, which you'll no longer be able to put more money on or purchase come the end of December, and it'll be sort of use it or lose it with what you have on your Metro card. But also we are transitioning fully tap and ride, right? And so we are encouraging customers to use that, or if you're, love a card, do the Omni card.
on this
But
topic.
did all reduced fare recipients receive one of the cards in the mail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And can I just?
I think we got Andrew. Andrew's got a question on this topic. We'll come back to Ada, then Mark.
It's a real bargain because the Metro card had a magnetic stripe which has a fixed life, and if it got into contact with something that can destroy the card. We also are paying people to clean the turnstile so you don't rupture your card every time. You won't have to do that with Omni. It's a bargain.
Okay, Hada.
I was just thinking of Omni. Did we ever resolve the issues we had with Omni? I don't know if anyone here can answer those questions.
Do you have any specific, you're back to
The
your
cubic,
cubic
I'm back
topic?
to cubic, yes, sorry.
Does anyone
Did I say Omni? I meant
qualify to
cubic.
comment on this as a vendor? Otherwise, maybe Lizette, you can talk to your procurement team to just give an update on.
Sure, that was
Cubic.
actually handled, I think, a C&D relationship, so
Right.
we can circle back to.
Great, all right,
All
thank
right,
you.
great. Mark,
Sorry,
thank you for your
Mark.
patience, Pastor.
Thank you. I would like to go back to the first item, the Aetna, and I don't want to hold you to it. I'm just curious because it's such a large amount. Health insurance, as we all know, is going through the roof, the cost. What has been the history, percentage increase that the MTA has seen? Is this extraordinary? Is this normal? Is this what's happening? I mean, it's such a large bulk that I would hope that we're getting a better rate because of the amount of members. But what is your experience, your view? Again, I'm not holding you percentages or anything.
So I don't have numbers showing year over year, but what I will say is, one, all of the benefits that we provide our workforce negotiated, right? So any changes in reductions or increases, additions or subtractions have to be negotiated. So whatever we have at the end of the day after that negotiation, we have to inform our procurement. That said, the competition that we did with this procurement had two levels. First, we pre-qualified vendors to make sure that they have the capacity to provide what we require. But for the second piece, both the technical requirements and the pricing requirements, first of all, we engaged a consultant who has many years and expertise in helping us evaluate both technical and cost proposals. We look at the company's networks to determine disruption, the size of their network to make sure that we're providing what's required and what we've negotiated, but also looking at the discounts, the administrative fees that the vendors provide. And what we can say is that for this particular award, the vendor that Aetna provided, not only were they the highest technical proposer, but they were the ones that provided the lowest cost. So in this instance, when our consultant looked at through their database, they looked at the proprietary database for discounts, network, credits. Aetna was the lowest priced. Additionally, there are also our incumbent. They also reduced their administrative fee over even this year. So we're off the bat, we're gaining some savings with administrative fees overall. But to your point, first of all, it's a very large population. It's 150,000 people. So it's going to be a big ticket item. But we all do, the cost proposals are very closely monitored and evaluated in order for us to be able to determine what our exposure is. And we went, and that the vendor provided the lowest cost for both of those awards.
Unsatisfied, you look?
I think Steve might have the percentages.
Yeah, it's just, if we look at it from an annual basis, about 4 to 5% we're seeing on that plan, which is right in line where it should be, so.
And I think sometimes in the market, you've seen a 7 to 8% increase in health benefits, so 4 to 5% is reasonable.
So you're telling me Lizette drives a hard bargain?
That's why she's our chief interim permanent procurement officer. All right, any more questions? I'm going to ask for a motion and a second on the three items at once. Thank you, Lisa. Second. No one wants to say, thank you. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed to the cubic one.
Okay. Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay. Lizette, the information items, please.
1 second.
Is that you?
Sorry.
I can read it.
I'm getting my, thank you. All right. The first is a request that the board formally ratify the awards of 2 modifications to contracts awarded under an immediate operating need for automated camera enforcement to Hayden AI Inc. and Sion Corp. The second item is a request that the board formally ratify the award of a contract awarded under an immediate operating need for paratransit technology solutions to Rideco US Inc. And there are no information items for Long Island Railroad, Metro North, or Bridges and Tunnels this month.
For Ed and Melva, just as a reminder, these were already passed by transit, but we provide them as a, sorry, I have an allergy attack in the last 20 minutes. Must be allergic to math and voting. Anyway, sorry.
It's me.
Not at all. But we repeat these, so you may have heard them earlier in transit, but you're not crazy. They are being repeated for purposes of just simply information. Any questions on those two?
So, I have a question. Oh,
Please.
David, did you have to say something? You sure? Okay, so we went over this in transit, and I asked a question, but explain, so Hayden and Sion do the ACE, run the cameras for us, or they're running the what are they doing? Explain this to me.
It's
Lizette.
both the system itself, so the cameras,
Mhm.
and the maintenance and operations of the program.
Okay. And the way it was explained in transit, additional
Functionality
is the way you say it,
Mhm.
because of legislation that was passed. So they had to go in and they had to increase the cost of the contract, right?
We increased, well, we added that functionality to their scope of work. For
Right.
Hayden, we did that, as well as add a number of 1,000 additional cameras. And for Sion, because at that point when we were negotiating with Sion, additional legislation had passed to further increase the functionality. We added all of that into the scope of work, and we're paying for the added functionality to Sion.
Okay. And why can't we do this ourselves?
Well, we relied on these vendors to get the technology, right? When we first issued a request for interest or information to technology companies to see who can actually provide both the systems itself, the ability to capture the information and do automatic ticketing based on the information it was able to observe.
So both Hayden and Sion capture the people that are violating and issue the violations.
They send the information and confirm. We work with the Department of
DOT,
Transportation,
right.
Mhm.
And do we, as a result of all this negotiation, can't we just own this functionality? We can't,
Well, we don't own the technology. We would have to work with vendors who own the technology.
and there's no way we can own the technology?
It's proprietary technology.
Well, if you're particularly interested in these two things, which is the camera technology and this company's called Hayden AI, so I assume they have some sort of AI-based tools that I'm sure we don't have, but we can certainly have a conversation about what they are and maybe in private.
Happy to.
Seems like it's a.
Happy to set that up.
It's already passed, and then every time legislation is passed in Albany, we go back and change the scope of their contract so they can capture whether it's, I don't know, additional bus lanes or bike lanes or whatever else.
Yes, any program change to add or even, expand, we would have to work with the vendors to
And these are the
address
only
this.
two vendors?
So we did, a couple of years ago, we opened it up to the world and said, help us, what technology's out there. We did have a contract with another vendor that many years ago, that when we tried to have them expand and really work with us to see if they met our needs, did not perform very well. We will likely, have to continue
With these
exploring.
two?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Hey, this is our job. It's good questions, Ada. Thank you for asking. It's important that we prosecute things thoughtfully. It's the public's money, and we've got to be thoughtful with it. So thank you, Lizette, for answering. Over to Mr. Florio for the real estate agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real estate has 2 administrative and 6 transactional action items for consideration and approval. The first administrative item is for the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. It's the modification to an existing policy governing the award of telecommunications and utility franchise licenses along any MTA agency right-of-way. The second is for MTA Metro North Railroad. It's eminent domain procedure law determination and findings related to the acquisition of property interest in Westchester and the Bronx in support of the Penn Station Access Project. The third and fourth are transactional items for MTA New York City Transit. They include an authorization to acquire property interest by negotiated settlement or eminent domain for the Nostrand Avenue ADA project in Brooklyn. And the second is a lease extension with 2976 Realty Company LLC for office space it's a renewal of office space at 2976 Northern Boulevard in Queens. The fifth and sixth transactional items are for MTA Metro North and include a lease with the Salt Pit at Portchester Station for a restaurant in that station building, and a license agreement with Gateway Foods for a Tim Hortons franchise in the White Plains Stations. That is actually a renewal of an existing occupancy. The last two transactional items are for MTA Long Island Railroad. They include an easement with AIREF Station Road Logistics for 2 subsurface utility connections along the main line in Yaphank. And lastly, a license with Eagle Scaffolding Services for property, adjacent property to the right-of-way, property to be used for storage and parking of the Babylon branch in Amityville. There is an information item, which is our report on agreements entered directly by the Real Estate Department.
Say again?
I didn't hear the last part.
The last one, I'm sorry, Commissioner. It's our report on the agreements entered into directly by the Real Estate Department pursuant to board policy.
I want to thank the White Plains Station and Mr. Florio for supporting North American relations with our Canadian brothers to allow Tim Horton to be be there, because Tim Horton is a proud export of our friends in the North. So exciting, David. Thank you for that. Well done. Motion to approve. Oh, well, let's do. I prefer to do a motion second, then questions. Sometimes I can't let you all do that, but that's the technical way to do it.
right,
We have a motion.
Okay, Robert, so moved.
So anyone move? Yeah. Okay, Hada, second. Lisa. Okay, Lisa, questions. Is this thing on?
There we go. I always enjoy this committee. The properties for eminent domain in Westchester and the Bronx, what locations are those?
They're about 18, and they're a director's desk. They're listed addresses, block and lot. Okay, sure.
There's a lot of noise going on over here. You guys okay? All right, any other questions, thoughts? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Thank you, David. Any new business for the committee?
I'd like
Sure.
to renew my motion to adjourn.
Second. Thank you, David. All right, all, thank you very much. Have a good night.